So we will start with the custom exceptions. In this, we are going to create a class which will extend the exception class. So I'm just going to give here com dot exception examples. I will create a class exception custom example. In this, I'll have another class here, probably like we will do the one which we had done before, like invalid h1. So if I have class invalid each exception, if I want to make this as a custom exception, I have to inherit from exception class. So in this, I'll create one function called as create a constructor and pass a message inside the constructor. And we will pass it to the exception class constructor. We have created our own class, which is extending from exception. Whatever message is thrown into this exception class, we are sending it to the parent class constructor. Parent class is exception constructor. This is a parameterized one because we are sending the message. This is a class file that we created, which has the main function. In this, I'm going to create one static method. I'm going to pass some number age. So if age is below 18, I'm going to throw the exception that you had created, that is this one, invalid age exception, and pass a message. Now, a message of type string. So here, age must be at least 18 or something. And if you look into this one, mm, since this whole function is throwing this invalid exception, right? So what we have to do, we have to give throws. This whole function will throw what kind of exception that has to be mentioned. Now this is in the static class static function that we have created. We can easily call this function. If I'm going to just say age, and here we'll ask the user to enter the age. Once he enters the age, mm, we can put it in the try catch block, by the way, now. So here I'm going to pass this function to vote. Okay. Because this is the function which is going to throw us the invalid exception if there is any exception. That's why. Okay. Otherwise, I can just print here if there is no exception, valid age. We'll run this. So if I give age 77, valid age. If I give age as 18, valid age. If I give below 18, age must be at least 18. So what happens in this function, you have taken age, taken the scanner object in order to get the input from the user. You're passing it to vote function. If the age is below 18, it is going to throw the invalid exception class. So basically this is nothing but creating an object with the parameterized constructor. So this message will be passed on to constructor, and that will in turn be passed on to the parent constructor, that is exception. Okay. This is custom exception using classes. Like you have extended the class using the exception, and then you have made use of this particular exception that you have created. Hence, it is custom.